Yesterday, we ushered in spring. And last week, I brought to mind the song, Here Comes the Sun. And this week, James Taylor posted on his website a version he and Yo-Yo Ma recorded several years ago. It is a beautiful arrangement, and I recommend it to you. Take a listen. In this time of finding our way, of seeking to be restored to a fuller life, and as more and more people receive COVID vaccines, our hope is mounting, and it feels like the sun is coming. It is a joyful hope that Jeremiah is proclaiming as he speaks to the Jewish people living in captivity, saying, "The day is surely coming." Through Jeremiah, God is promising a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It will be a different kind of covenant. It will be within the people, written on their hearts, on everyone's heart. Everyone will know God. Ever since the beginning of humankind, God has sought to be in relationship, making covenant after covenant. But this one is different. It is a heart's desire. Psalm 51 speaks to our deepest desire. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Holy Spirit from me. Give me the joy of your saving help again, and sustain me with your bountiful Spirit. God is life. It is God who can heal our hearts, renew our spirit, and bring joy to life. How many of us have hearts that are broken through the illness, death, and isolation of this time? How many are feeling dispirited and lost? This new covenant comes through Jesus, the great high priest, the one who lays down his life for us willingly. The seed that falls to the ground dies and bears much fruit. Even before his trial and execution, he has begun to draw everyone to him. Today, some Greeks seek out Philip and say, "Sir, we wish to see Jesus." When Philip and Andrew tell Jesus, his response is, "The hour has come." It seems like the message about the Greeks seeking him is the sign that his time has come. His ministry, the hope he brings, has reached beyond Judea and Galilee, drawing others to him. And then the warning comes. Very truly I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the earth and dies, it remains just a single grain. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. What can this possibly mean? The cycle of nature teaches us every day, every season, through plants, animals, through all life. Even when we look at the Grand Canyon, we can see a process of never-ending change. Life, death, rebirth, more life. It is time for the Son of Man to be glorified, and God to be glorified through him. Jesus willingly gives himself over to the divine plan of glory. Yet, as we encounter Jesus' story, we struggle to understand a glory that comes through the act of embracing suffering, embracing death. God is at work even in the darkest, hardest, loneliest times in our lives, bringing forth beauty and goodness out of suffering. And Jesus truly loved life. His life was full as he embraced the multitudes of people, challenged and taught his disciples as they struggled to understand, as he engaged with the elders in the temple and ate with sinners, tax collectors, and Pharisees. He loved it all. He loved people. Even in the midst of those most challenging moments, he loved them. And it was messy, sometimes inconvenient, and never-ending. He was moved by the human condition and our deep need to be loved. His love, God's love, and drawing all to this hope and love and healing leads to the cross. His purpose and identity comes through his life and his death. So let us go with him, as Thomas said. We go to Jerusalem, to the Garden of Gethsemane, to the cross at Golgotha, and meet him anew at sunrise on the third day, in the freshness of the morning dew. Like the women, we watch and pray and prepare. We seek. Come, let us go with him into the promise of new life.